Today we drove from Lucerne, Switzerland to Innsbruck, Austria. On the way we went through Liechtenstein, across the border back into Germany to visit a castle, and then on to Austria. Liechtenstein is a small country between Switzerland and Austria. It's a microstate at 62 square miles. You could tour the whole country on a Segway. It looks a lot like Switzerland, speaks German, uses the Swiss franc, has at least one casino. But there are some interesting differences. The politics. It's a constitutional monarchy with the prince holding most of the power and veto rights on most of the important stuff. He even threatened to move to Austria if he didn't get his way in one of the elections. Apparently, he's very personable, and every August he throws the whole country a party at his castle with free beer. So vote for the guy with the beer kegs. Economically, it is doing very well, but the banks were known for secrecy and money laundering. And without tax treaties with most countries, it's known as a tax haven for thousands of foundations and individuals. In 2008, the EU, mostly Germany, and the US put pressure on Liechtenstein in regards to tax evasion, and it has now gone from being, quote, on the blacklist of uncooperative countries, unquote, to just hanging out with the wrong crowd. So this is pretty much what I saw of Liechtenstein. I mean, it looked nice. I don't know what there is for tourists to do. I know maybe skiing and hiking, but I don't know what else.
We're supposed to go to this castle, which is the fairy tale Walt Disney castle up there in the hills. Looks interesting. It's really pretty. But because of the restrictions of only allowing a certain number of people into the castle, they didn't get booking for us. And so we couldn't get into that castle. So instead, we went to that castle.
Hohenschwangau rolls off the tongue. Although I had a ticket for Hohenschwangau Castle, it was very busy, and there was a long wait for my designated admission time. There were lots of people milling around and plenty of time to film the fountains, flowers, view, more flowers, a tree, and all the other tourists getting in my way. So while I'm waiting, a little bit about the castle. Built by King Maximilian II of Bavaria and finished in 1837, Bavaria was still at the time an independent state. As with many kingdoms in Europe, there were these separate states ruled by kings or dukes, and the modern European countries had not yet gelled. In 1871, Bavaria became part of the newly formed German Federation, but it retained its monarchy, which by this time was King Maximilian's son, King Ludwig II. More on him later. So, being a king, in 1832, Maximilian found this lovely location, which had been a fortress and castle, and he decided to buy it and build his summer place. The existing castle was by this time a ruin. He built a neo-Gothic castle and used it while he was alive. His son, Ludwig II, the future king, spent summers there, and when he came into the family fortune, built Neuschwanstein Castle, which they say is the inspiration for the Sleeping Beauty Castle in California, Disneyland. It's an even grander and more fairy tale-like castle, and it's just across the way from his parents' place. There is some mention that his mother was still alive and living in the castle, and he didn't get along with her, so bye Mom, I'm building my own pad. Hohenschwangau was opened to the public in 1913 and has some of the original furnishings and paintings, including the guest room for the composer Wagner, who was a close family friend. The grounds were pretty, especially the fountains, but the interior was by audio tour and I really didn't get that much out of it. So here's my visit and what I had for lunch. Birch, I think. It's a weeping something. I'm gonna go with birch, but I'm not entirely, but it's huge. Look at that trunk. I mean, really. I wonder how many years it's been here. Huge. Very impressive.